Hi everyone, Professor Gustin here, and it looks like you made it to the syllabus tab, and hopefully you printed out the syllabus. That has a lot of really important information in it. I use it frequently. I was going to say every day, but almost every day to keep myself on track, to remind myself what we're doing, to see the assignments that we're working on. You should be using the syllabus frequently. Sometimes I'll get a question from students that say, "Oh, I don't see a lab quiz posted." Go look on the syllabus. Some weeks we don't have a lab quiz. We just have virtual labs. The syllabus is going to be very useful for you. If you have questions for me about policies in the course, the first thing to do is look at the syllabus. If the question isn't answered there, email me. I'd be glad to answer it. So get your syllabus, put it in your 3-ring notebook. Get that 3-ring notebook started now and keep all your papers organized, and it will save you time. So here's where you found this. While I'm going through this, what I want you to notice is I'm going to set up each week. So here's the syllabus section, but each week will be set up in a similar way that you're going to follow the documents. You're going to follow the links from the top to the bottom of each one of these pages. And so here's the course syllabus. It tells you it's a Word document. The one right here, it tells you it's a video. So each link here will tell you what kind of document it is, and that can help reduce confusion. The other thing that you're going to notice is when you go down these, there's little places where you can check them off. So when you're done, when you print out the course syllabus, you can put a little check there. There's nothing in my grading that will notice that you put checks there. I have no way to keep track of these checks. The checks are just for you to help you remind yourself that, oh yeah, I did that already. Once you listen to this video, check it off and you know you did it already. I think it's hard sometimes to keep track of what you did and what you didn't do in an online course. So these checks can help you out. You can uncheck them if you need to. So let's go to the course syllabus. So for documents, I'm going to click on that link. And notice here, it comes down there. Now, occasionally, the formatting will be kind of odd, and also you just can't see the whole thing necessarily if you're using it here. So you go up here and you click download. And I'm going to click download. My downloads go up here. Yours might go somewhere else. And I'm going to click on that. And now that's going to open up that file. And now I have a Word document right there. So here you go. Here's our syllabus that you've printed out. There's my contact information. And that's where I am. I'm in Schuyler Hall. Here it talks about contacting me. You can read that, but the bottom line is I like you to get in touch with me. If you need to talk to me, I'm glad to help. If you're having a problem in class, sometimes I'll have students say, where do I get a tutor? You don't have to go to a tutor until you talk to me. Talk to me and see if I can help you out. If you need someone to sit there and give you additional help, you might consider using one of our tutoring services. But I should always be the first person you go to because I know the course better than anyone, and I'm glad to help. You can imagine teaching online courses, you don't get as much contact with your students, so I really enjoy meeting some of you and helping you out. I have live office hours. I know most of you probably won't use them, but honestly, I do get online students coming to live office hours, and you're more than welcome to show up in my office at those times or give me a call during those times. You'll be, I will most likely be there. I can do virtual office hours, and all you have to do is email me and just say, I'd like to do a virtual office hour. And could we, here's some times I could do it, and we could set it up. And I've actually gotten to know some students pretty well that way. So feel free to do that if you need some extra help. We can talk on the phone if you need to. We can, like I said, talk in my office live or set up a virtual office hour. They're all pretty easy things to do, and I'm glad to do it. Here's the course description, like you would see in the college catalog, and the learning outcomes, what we're trying to do in this course. Here you go, the textbook information. I showed you in the previous video with the introduction that we're going to be using McGraw-Hill Connect materials. So you're going to purchase this McGraw-Hill Connect book. And with that Connect access, you will get the ebook. So it all comes as one packet, and you'll be able to access that electronically. So here it talks a little bit about First Day Complete program that's offered through Barnes and Noble. If you don't completely understand that, I know you've gotten some course information about First Day Complete from the college, and if it's unclear to you or you need someone to just clarify what that is or help you understand it, I'd be glad to help you out. So let me know. Give me a call or email or whatever. Stop by. Here it says you'll be able to access your digital materials through Brightspace. So I showed you that link on the very first page of the course, and the very first Brightspace page in the previous video. Here's a bunch of help resources. And the first thing I say, talk to me if you need help. But we also have some other ways to get help. There's tutoring in our learning. Let's see, Learning Commons. I think we just changed the name to the Learning Center. I better fix that. To the Learning Center, which is attached to the library. SUNY does have some tutoring that you can use too. So look over some of those resources. I wanted to just put this thing I called an important reminder, is to check your MyCorning and your school email address a few times a week. That is my only way that I can get in touch with you. I guess in an emergency, I can look up your phone number, but you don't want me to do that. But you should be checking your emails on a regular basis. And this is my primary way of communicating with you, all your professors' primary way of communicating with you. So be checking your MyCorning and your school email address. Don't rely on your personal email addresses for your school interactions. Use your Corning email address. Each week in class, I'm going to post a whole page of materials that you should be, and assignments you should be completing. They'll be on the calendar, and it's telling you that most of the assignments and the calendar's in Brightspace, but most of those assignments are going to be due at 11:59 p.m. on Sundays, which means 1 minute before midnight on Sundays. So each week you'll have a whole list of assignments. They're not due until 1 minute before midnight on Sundays. With one major exception, the final exam is due 12 noon on the Thursday of the last week of class. So I will make sure that is updated, that you are reminded of that. It'll remind you of that many times. Each week on your Brightspace page, you're going to see a lecture study guide, and you're going to print that out. And that's going to be your guide to what you need to know that week. And so you're going to fill that out. And the idea is you can fill it out by writing on it, or you can fill it out by typing into it. I'll show you that when we get to it. I make lecture videos. So you can, most of the time, the material that's on the lecture study guide is in the textbook. So you can just go to the ebook and look at it. But I actually go to the ebook and kind of make a lecture video from that to help you navigate that. So that might help some folks just be more specific and get to the information that you want to get to more quickly. Every week, you're going to have a weekly lecture assignment, and the lecture assignment is listed as LA on the grade book. So each week, week 1, lecture assignment, week 2, etc. And these lecture assignments are created by the use of your ebook, and the ebook is what we call a smart book. So what it can do is you can actually work on your lecture assignment, which will be questions related to the content on the lecture study guide. And you'll work on the lecture assignment, and the way the Connect tool is designed is you can go back and forth between the reading the book and completing the lecture assignment. So there's a question on the lecture assignment, you can't find the answer in your notes, or you're not really quite sure, you can go read that section, and it will bring you right to that section where you can read it again. The lecture assignments are something we call adaptive learning. And what adaptive learning is if you you answer a question and you get it wrong. What it will do is it will ask you more questions about that same content. So you go back and you reread a section or you study your notes in that section, and you can it'll give you more questions. If you answer a question, you get it right, it calculates like, okay, this person's got it. Understands this concept. I don't need to ask them any more questions. So the amount of questions you'll get in your lecture assignment is going to depend on how many you get right. So if you get a lot wrong, it'll keep asking you more and more questions. And that's not a problem because that can actually help you learn. You don't lose any points for getting questions wrong. So as long as you complete all the lecture assignment questions, you will receive 100% for the assignment. So just to reiterate, if you do your study guide, you review it, you do your lecture assignment, you'll get through the lecture assignment pretty quickly. But if you are trying to look things up while you're doing it, you might get some things wrong and it might take you longer. So I think the best way to do it is get your study guide, use the lecture videos or your lecture or your ebook, fill in the study guide, review your study guide, and then do your lecture assignment. That would be the most efficient and the most productive way of learning this material. Each week you'll get a lab handout in Brightspace, and that will walk you through the lab, and you'll earn lab points. And those lab points it's outlined it'll tell you in the lab handout if there are virtual labs you need to complete or if you need to take a lab quiz. And the labs, all this lab stuff, and actually these lecture assignments are all open book. So it's a way for you to practice with pretty low risk. But you get to a point that we're going to take lecture exams and the final exams. And at that point, now you have to remember the material. So hopefully these activities have gotten you to the point that you're actually starting to remember things. You've studied the lecture study guides, and now you're going to take the exams. And each exam is proctored, and it's proctored electronically. So you will need a computer that has a webcam and a microphone to take the proctored exam. It's using a program called Respondus, and I'll tell you about that when we get closer. Just a heads up, Chromebooks do not work well for Respondus. I do not recommend using a Chromebook, and you're not going to be able to do it. So you need to find a device to take your exams on other than a Chromebook. And I'm writing myself a note to put that in here. I'm going to add that. Okay, if you miss exams or you miss a quiz or you have any late assignments of any kind, remember that all the weekly materials are due a minute before midnight on Sundays. And late assignments will be accepted for up to 1 week after the due date, but are only able to earn 50% of the points. So you need to, it's okay to be late once in a while for some of the, lab things or a lecture assignment here and there. There's a lot of points in this class. So if you miss a couple things that you're a little bit late, it will probably have little impact on your grade. But if you're chronically late and you're missing a lot of assignments, it could end up hurting your grade. So the assignments are due 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. If you take that on Monday and you get a 10 out of 10, I'm actually going to go back in and adjust the grade to 5 out of 10. So late assignments, you can only get up to 50% of the points. If you're having significant problems related to due dates, let me know. Life does happen, and I am willing to be flexible occasionally, but it's only occasionally and it has to be for a really good reason. I've got a lot of students, and I can't have everybody finishing things at all different times. It just is not practical for me. And frankly, what I find is students that get behind continue to stay behind. and it impacts on the rest of the class. The worst case scenario is I get students that get behind, I give them a break, I help them, you can hand this in late, hand this in late, and then they get to a point that they're so far behind, there's no way they're going to get the course done. And so it's just a shame because students have put in a lot of time but won't get the course done, and they have to drop the course or get a failing grade. So do not get behind. I think that's one of the biggest problems with online classes for students is it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Course notes and organizations. I recommend a 3-ring binder. Put your syllabus, your lecture study guides, your lab handouts all in that 3-ring binder. Keep yourself organized. Check your notes. Work on the course on a regular schedule. Don't just wait until Sunday to start, or even Friday or Saturday to start doing the course. There's a lot of material in this. This course, when it's a live course, meets 5 hours a week. 5 hours just in class. Now you have to review and take quizzes and things. It's going to take you a good amount of time. And if you try to remember everything all at once or try to do everything at once, it's not going to stick in your mind. When we learn, we are exposed to information. Sleeping helps solidify information, and then you review it again. So do your studying and do your work on this course over several days, and it will help your retention. It will help your understanding. Here's information about withdrawing from the class. At the end of week 9, if you want to say it's not working for me, to get a W, which means no earned grade, you have to withdraw by the end of week 9. After that, you will get whatever grade you earned. Even if you never show up again, you will get the grade that you earned, which is usually an F if you don't show up again. So make sure if you're going to drop the course that you do it by week 9. Here's all of our assignments and the number of points that it's worth. Here's the grading scale, and here's the class schedule. And I stick by this class schedule very closely. So you'll see this week is week 1. We're going to do scientific method. There's the lab topic, the lecture topic, and the lab topic. This right here, all these virtual labs, these say VL virtual labs, and lab quizzes. I just put the abbreviations here and just to show you how many points. So if I look here, what I have, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 points of lab things. That's these 15 points right here. I left a column here so you can write them in, but you'll also see your grades adding up in Brightspace. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and keep going. So you want to get working on week 1 material for this week. Good luck.